Did you know that 2020 has games? It's true, and I'm here to talk about which ones that I'm interested in getting, that I know exist. It'll be mostly in order of release, although some of it's a bit over the place and a lot don't even have dates yet. Since I didn't want to mess around with trailers or any possible copy strikes, even though I can't make money off these videos, I got some lovely help from my little sister, with the first few games having some beautiful illustrations. So, the most anticipated game of the year is Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's only 79 days away! There's not too much for me to say about it, other than I'm really looking forward to playing it, and I'm super happy there's a Southern Hemisphere option for the weather, so I don't have to deal with my villagers commenting about the coldness and the snow when it is 43 degrees Celsius. The Chad Tom Nook. Now, the first new game that I'll be picking up this year is Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training. That comes out only like 2 days, like on the 3rd of January. And yeah, that's more of the game actually only lets you play a few minutes of it at a time, aside from the free play. But it'll be good to have it on the Switch, and I'm interested in trying out what the multiplayer features are. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. This is the ideal female body. Now, this one is one I'm not actually sure if I'm going to get, which is Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. Since I already have it on the Wii U, plus unfortunately, it's still censored, except now that the Switch is region-free, they decided to censor all versions of the game, so I can't import a non-censored version. So there's not really any reason for me to buy it. I mean, I still might, but I shouldn't. I already have it on the Wii U just because I can't take screenshots on the Wii U. We are diagonal because my hand hurts. Releasing on February 20th, I believe, is the the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. So yeah, that's supposed to be tied to the Netflix show, but that came out in August. At least that gives me time to watch it, even though I watched the first episode and it seems like it retcons the origin of the Dark Crystal. I like tactics games even though I'm dumb and bad at them, and this seems pretty good. It has quite a few levels and like a job system, so that would be good for customizing. Or, pick the worst jobs and always get screwed over, because... So, I believe it's coming out on the 14th of February is Dreams, which is made by Media Molecule, which is the people who made Little Big Planet series, and it's sort of going off of that, but it's more like a game creation software. What I've seen, it looks really cool, plus it's pretty cheap in comparison to like a full price game, so I've pre-ordered that, and that'll be fun to mess around with. Coming out on the same day as Animal Crossing in Australia, although it's a bit earlier in other regions, is Langrisser 1 and 2, which we've only had the first Langrisser game come out in English, which was on one of the Sega systems as Warsong, I think. Again, that'll be cool. Apparently it's a bit hard, so that'll be great for me because I'm really bad at tactics games. One thing I don't like about it is that the unit style seems to be completely ripping off Fire Emblem Heroes, which is weird because they have a Langrisser mobile game and that looks a bit different. Aside from that though, you will have the option to use old or new portrait art, which is nice. Sometimes I prefer the older anime art style. This one doesn't have a set release date. It's supposed to be delayed till winter, so for me, end of summer. So in Australian, the retail is just listed as like February 28th. That's Rune Factory 4S, or for special. The main thing I'm hoping is that the swimsuit DLC is also available for separate purchase, because I do not like the main character's nipple tassel outfit. But it'll be nice to have it on the Switch. Also, Rune Factory 5 is supposed to come out at some point, although I don't know if we'll get it in 2020 since Rune Factory 4S has come out in other regions. And now the English release is going to be a lot longer, so we probably won't get that one till next year. Coming out on March 31st is Persona 5 The Royal. I actually only finished the game last year. I played the PS3 version, so it'll be fun to play this with the new character. It will be sad that you cannot use the Reaper trick anymore. Sure, I didn't need it in the last part of the game, but having it in the first time you can do it was nice to grind up easier. It was a point where I really needed to catch up to speed. I managed to order the Phantom Thieves edition before that sold out, so hopefully Joker's mask look good on me. I think it's kind of like the least interesting mask out of all of them, but he's the main character, so. Now I'm going to talk about a few games that have like supposedly Q1 releases, but no like firm date. One is The Outer Worlds for the Switch, because it already came out a few months ago this year. So if I do want to play it, I could just grab someone's PS4 copy, but I want to see how it runs on the Switch, and if it's good, I'll pick it up. I know it's pretty short comparatively for a Western shooter RPG, and I know the character customization is atrocious because the longest hairstyle is about this long, when mine's that. But other than that, it seemed pretty fun, and it'll probably be good for a baby's first shooter RPG for me. Unfortunately, that's all the illustrations I have left because I wanted to do this video today, and there's still quite a few more games to talk about. Also in Q1 games is Samurai Showdown being ported to the Switch, since that came out mid last year. I'm not super into fighting games, but I like how different it is because it's slow and it's weapons based and you can actually lose your weapon and have to pick it back up. And there's quite a few cutie female characters to boot. Trials of Mana is coming out on the 24th of April, and that's a 3D remake of Trials of Mana. Hopefully better than the more recent 3D remake we got of Secret of Mana. You can actually get the original now in English officially with the collection of Mana that came on the Switch, which gives you 3 of the games. But obviously this will be reworked to be in 3D and also comes with English voice acting, which I appreciate. I do tire so much of all these games that have like, wow, voice acting, but we didn't put any English in. I thought Minecraft Dungeons only had like an early 2020 release date, but when I looked it up it was saying April. So hopefully that's true because that will be super fun. One of my favourite games ever is Gauntlet Dark Legacy, and that seems sort of like, you know, that sort of overhead hack and slashy, but Minecraft and, you know, a bit of crafting and that too doesn't hurt. So I'm really looking forward to playing that with family and friends. I think it's called Chris Tales because the main character's name is Crispell. That's a really interesting turn-based RPG. There's a demo of it on Steam and I've done a written post of that on Ladies Gamers, but it is also set to come to the Switch. I think it looks really gorgeous. It's like this illustrated style, and now that I've actually got my hands on how the being able to see the past, present and future simultaneously mechanic works, I am pretty excited for it. So I've also got some games that don't have set releases but are just supposed to come out 2020. We've got Streets of Rage 4, which I haven't played any of the series, although that's kind of understandable given the gap between releases. Last year I played some Castle Crashers Remastered and River City Girls, so I really like co-op beat 'em ups, and it's always like a nice fun thing to play with my boyfriend or my family. So I'm looking forward to seeing what one of the OGs are about. No More Heroes 3 is also supposed to come out in 2020, and that looks really cool. I like Suda games, I say as if I've ever finished any, but I do have the first 2 on Wii and the spin-off Travis Strikes Again on my Switch, so as long as the release date gets announced, it gives me enough time to play those. I do remember playing the first level of the first game. You know how some Wii game, you know, the Wii remote actually had a speaker and only a few games used it? And then the phone rings and it's coming out of the speaker, and I'm like, I actually picked it up and tried to say hello. But I just had to press a button. But you actually had to listen to the phone call through the speaker. That was really cool. But yeah, I'll make sure to play those games before 3 comes out, and then I'll be looking forward to it. Moving Out is a couch co-op game where you have to remove certain pieces of furniture out. I've played the demo on Steam and I did a post about that also on Ladies Gamers, but it is coming out to the Switch. It is super fun. I hope it's coming out sooner than later because it seems pretty ready. They had like quite a few levels. They even had a bit, like you've got to put the furniture into the trucks, right? But there was some chairs, like they were possessed, that kept moving. So I had to put the chairs in and then shove a bigger piece of furniture in to stop the chairs from getting out. It's like really good to have more, like, you know, more people are trying to make those co-op games. But, you know, Moving Out's like a completely different concept. I think it's also by some Australian developers, so that's good. Always good. Eastward is a game I actually wasn't too interested in, but then I played the Steam demo that was part of the Games Festival thing. Also wrote a post on that for Ladies Gamers because it is coming to Switch as well. That seems really cool. I don't like to go out of my way to compare games, but it's slightly Zelda-y, like just only in a little bit, because you have hearts and you get heart pieces and you have 2D combat and sort of small dungeon puzzles, but it's definitely its own unique world. It's pixel art, but it's really gorgeous pixel art, very like well animated and like had such a nice palette tones. There's also cooking in it, which I didn't realize the first time I played through the demo. That'll be really fun. You have like two characters that team up and you have to swap between them to do different abilities. Very cool. Finally, the last few things are some games that might not come out in 2020 in English, but they are coming out in 2020 in Japan, or they've already come out, so I'm waiting for an English translation, hopefully this year. So we've got Persona 5 The Strikers, which is a Warriors spin-off of Persona 5, except it's more of a sequel because it takes place after Persona 5 Vanilla. It's not going after Persona 5 The Royal. Although after the Royal they might have some of the characters as DLC or something, because I haven't seen any announcements for DLC yet. I was a little worried after playing Fire Emblem Warriors, which was okay, but had so many clone characters. This actually seems to be like, a full-on like sequel. It's an RPG, there's boss fights, which is great. There's a bit where Yusuke was sledding down and running into a bunch of Jack Frosts. It just looks really fun. Normally I only play these games in co-op, so I skip them to single player. This one looks like it'll definitely be single player only. Like, I could hope that maybe side content has multiplayer, but usually if these Warriors games are only one player, that's how they stay. If that's the case, I might pick it up on PS4, though it is easier to capture screenshots on the Switch, so it's coming out in February in Japan, so hopefully by the end of the year we get it. Another one that's already come out in Japan is the Mineral Town remake, where it combines Friends in Mineral Town and More Friends in Mineral Town. I don't like the art style at all. I think it looks like an upscaled mobile game. I've been watching YouTuber Milky T. She's been playing through the game in Chinese, but talking in English, and finding a lot of things out about the game that I didn't even know I've played More Friends in Mineral Town. I'll link to her channel in my description so that you can watch it yourself if you're interested. I'm actually not sure who to marry because I don't like a lot of the redesigns. They do have same-sex marriage now, so I could go for Anne, but she's not wearing overalls and that cute braid anymore, so maybe one. One kind of went from old Chinese man stereotype to modern, like, phone kiosk seller stereotype, except he's still selling apples. Last out of this category is Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. It's actually just being called Yakuza Like a Dragon in English. January in Japan, so I think the translations are fairly quick. They've made like, it's a Yakuza game, but it's a turn-based RPG and it looks amazing. Almost makes Persona 5 look bad. You have summons, like you can call up a lobster and the lobster will jump up at the guy in the eye. There's like a forklift boss. Classes are like idle and stuff like there's a total ripoff of a Mario Kart minigame in it. That's probably gonna be my game of the year, to be honest. Like, still there'll be surprises and stuff, but if it comes out in English, I reckon it'll be up there. I still need to play Judgment. That's it for what is supposed to come out in 2020. There are 3 games that I hope will come out next year, if not 2021. First, Shin Megami Tensei 5, probably not this year, but hopefully we actually get details on it. They announced it way back in January 2017, but didn't actually start development until a year later, so it's only had a couple years. But I do hope to hear more about it because I haven't played any of the mainline games. I want to give it a shot. Bayonetta 3 also got announced a couple years ago. So hopefully this year, if not early next year. Bayonetta's awesome. I love her. Yeah, hopefully that comes out soon. Also, something that's supposedly been, it might not even actually be in development, but Pikmin 4. Even if it's not, I want one soon because Pikmin is cool. Pikmin 3 looked gorgeous and we need a Pikmin on the Switch. That's not a port of all of them. Probably some I'm forgetting, but those are the games that I've written down to remember and that I am looking forward to. Plus, you know, you always get those eShop games and they come out, stealth launch, and you don't have the money for them, so you gotta wait like 6 months till... Let me know what games you are hyped for. And I'll see you next time. I have a new Switch Online video to do, but my next review should be Atelier Aisha for the Switch. So, see ya. This is gonna be a pain to edit. My arm hurts already.